Friends, hello. I hope you are well. It's Friday. We made it another 4-day week in the market. Memorial Day was Monday, so it was a short week for us in the market, but man, it was a heavy week in the market. I think a lot of us are doing well for the majority of our portfolios. Market has just been doing really well here, so hopefully that continues. Now, talking about Mullen here, I'm gonna be honest, man, I was rough on Mullen this week. A lot of people were saying, a lot of people were agreeing with me that we were just very skeptic that anything big was going to happen with Mullen this week. A lot of people were telling me to go jump off a bridge and that I was incredibly wrong. And I get it. This is a sensitive subject. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. So right now, let's break everything down, what we saw this week with Mullen. And I'm going to try not to make this a long video. I just want to make this bullet point, what's going on, what we saw, where we're standing with Mullen, and really, what we can expect from here on out. And it's a little good, a little bad, probably a lot more bad, but let's talk about Mullen. So Mullen is holding around the 75 cent zone. This is where it's at. I've been saying I think Mullen's probably going to go back down to a 50, 60 here very soon, maybe even more than that. The Saudi deal was supposed to happen, and here's what I'll say about the Saudi deal, and then I'm not going to talk about it anymore because we have dissected it so much. Pretty much when Lawrence says something, if you know Lawrence by now, you know. If not, I'm not going to talk about it. But Lawrence has a very heavy track record of saying things that don't come true or seem to be true. So once again, there was a lot of hype around this week where people were believing that Lawrence was saying something, and there was a lot of fake articles out there saying that the Saudi deal had been done, it was signed, and people were saying, like, put everything you have into Mullen because it's about to explode. And we've seen this before with Lawrence and things he's actually said, went live on. And this is where people have gotten into a lot of financial trouble with Mullen, because one of the last times this happened with this whole Saudi deal situation, people were plowing money into Mullen, and then just like that, days later, Mullen said, hey, you know what, we're going to do a reverse split. So we're dealing with dilution, taking money from investors and try to right their wrong, but it just keeps continuing to go wrong. And Mullen isn't, I'm going to be honest, listen friends, like I've said a million times, I'm not trying to make a hit piece here. I want Mullen to work. Like, I want this to work. But Mullen is in a very dangerous place right now with trust from investors. This Saudi deal has done a lot more damage as of right now than it has good, because it's not new. Like, I think there's people that they just find Mullen and they hear about the Saudi deal. They're like, oh my God. Because it does. It's an amazing deal. It's a $10 billion deal if it were to work. I mean, those are huge numbers. For any company that's 10 years old, to make $10 billion off one deal is huge. Mullen stock, if they were to receive a $10 billion deal overnight and within a 6-month period just complete 30 to 40% of the deal, 25%, Mullen in no doubt would straighten out their balance sheet, plus probably turn into a $4 to $5 stock. So yeah, it's getting people's attention. The problem is, a lot of us just think it's bogus at this point. I'm hoping it's not, but it's not looking good. And Mullen, the actual physical car EV company here, they're not talking about it on the website. So it's a broken record at this point. And that's why I've said here that this might be the nail in the coffin here with Mullen and investors. It's broken the trust of a lot of investors, sadly, and it's really what's going on here. So friends, the one thing that we know that's coming, the last big thing, and I talked about this a little bit already, but the last big thing that we know to be true here with Mullen, from what the CEO of Mullen, David, here said, that here in July, the company Mullen, out of their Mississippi warehouse, they should be releasing cars to the general public for people that have already bought, prepaid, pre-ordered vehicles, and they should be start to be delivered. So that would be huge. That would be huge, because Mullen, really the only thing they're really making money off of right now is their fleet deals, where they're, you know, selling packages of their vans, their trucks, and that's how they're making their bread and butter and keeping the lights on right now, which is good. It's good. But, you know, Mullen is trying to break into the sedan, the luxury, the everyday driver market here. It's a hard market to tap into when there's so much competition already, and you have EV companies that are so far advanced and ahead of ones before it. Not to mention Tesla is just killing it right now in numbers. So friends, you know, do I think Mullen's going to go out of business here? We're not seeing that. We're not seeing that. It's not that crazy right now. Mullen is bringing in money. They do have deals that they're completing, that they've received. Be prepared that the stock could take more damage here. That is a realistic thing that's probably going to happen here. I hope I'm terribly wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But Mullen has got to release some news here, some actual physical news, that they received a new deal, something. And even when we've seen Mullen release news about their fleet deals, people are not really interested in these fleet deals. Big investors in general, you know, these fleet deals, they're not sexy. They're not, you know, they're not cool. They're just kind of boring, but they're money. They're bringing in revenue. They're what's keeping the lights on. The problem is, you know, people want to see Mullen, like I said, break into the everyday driver market, and that's really the next big step here, to see if Mullen can do it before they go freaking bankrupt and lose all trust with investors. So friends, I'm going to be quiet now. I wish all of you a wonderful weekend until we tap back into the market here. And listen, I'm excited. I'm hoping that Mullen can survive here until we actually see some news, hear some things. I'm hoping July here they actually do get vehicles out to customers and out in lots for people to buy. Friends, I will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone.